So the last motorcycle that I owned was a Kawasaki KZ1000, and I loved it. I really loved it. It was an awful bike, but I did love it. It had rubbish brakes. It was terrible at cornering. The pipes ran so low underneath it that if you put it hard into a corner, the pipes used to catch on the ground, and at night it was quite spectacular. It used to throw sparks up behind it. And the hooter didn't work, so I had one of those clown hooters clipped to the handlebars, one of the ones that go ah 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 ah, which was always a source of amusement. But I loved this bike. I loved it because it was loud and it was rude. The neighbors hated it, and it was very fast. So I owned this when I was about, Liam must have been about 8 years old when I had this thing. And then Erin came along, and so my wife and I, we decided that we should sell the bike because she didn't fancy being a single mum to 2 kids if I wrote myself off. So we sold the bike, and it was a very sad day in the Gallagher's household. Well, I was sad anyway. Yeah. But anyway, back then I used to have long hair, really long hair. It used to hang down to about the middle of my back, and I used to usually wear it in a big plait hanging down the middle, and I had a big old bikey beard, and I usually used to separate it into 2 sort of dangly bits, or I used to plait it. And the one day I was lying underneath one of my Land Rovers, which if you own a Land Rover you do a fair bit of that, and my Land Rover had shat itself and dropped all the oil all over the floor in the garage. So I was lying underneath it trying to sort it out, and my hair just got full of oil and grit from the floor and grease, and I ran my fingers through it, and I was thinking, I gotta try and get this bloody hair clean. I was really annoyed, and I have a tendency to be a bit unreasonable when I'm annoyed. Yeah, a bit unreasonable. And so I stomped into the house all grumpy, and I grabbed the hair clippers, and without a runner or anything, I just ran the hair clippers down the middle of my head. And because I'd gone down the middle of my head and I'd cut it so short, I ended up having to completely cut off all of my hair, literally all of it. I went from having long hair to having a chrome dome, and because I chopped my hair off, my beard looked silly, so I kind of cut my beard into something that was a little bit more socially acceptable. And having a bald head was actually quite cool. It looked pretty good if you ignored the scars and the dents and the funny shape of the whole thing. It was quite cool. I liked it. But don't let anybody ever tell you that having a bald head is low maintenance, because it's not. It's a real pain in the backside actually, because it takes more maintenance than long hair, because hair grows quite quickly, and so to maintain the look you have to shave your head, get the razor out and shave your head every couple of days. So anyway, this one Saturday I was at home with Liam, and we were about to watch the football, and Angela was going out for the afternoon with her mate, and she went off and I was up in the bathroom, and I saw she had a tin of this hair removal foam, the stuff that women put on their legs to get rid of the hair. And I thought, man, that sounds just way easier than trying to shave your head and get to all the funny bits at the back and nicking your head and all of that sort of thing. So I grabbed this tin and I shook it up and I sprayed made the foam on my head and put another layer and another layer until I had this big white afro on my head. I looked like the bastard child of Jimi Hendrix and Albert Einstein, I guess. And then I went downstairs, put on the TV. Liam looked at my head a little bit odd. And then we started watching the football. And half time came along, and my head was feeling a little bit tingly. So I thought, it's probably time to get this stuff off my head. So I went back upstairs to the bathroom, turned the shower on, got it all nice and warm, and I stuck my head in the shower and put it under the shower head. Holy Mother of God! It stung like hell. It was like I dipped my head in a bath of sulfuric acid. It just burnt like hell. It stung. It was so painful. And I was wailing and complaining. And because Liam came upstairs to see what all the ruckus was about, and he took one look at me and he said, "Dude, your melon is so red, dude." He's from a landlocked country in Africa, and he was living in England. Why does he talk like a California surfer? But anyway, he said, "Dude, your melon." And I had a look in the mirror, and he was right. My head was just this bright, glowing, angry red. And I was like, and it was burning, it was stinging. I had a look in the shower, and there was some medicated shampoo in the Head and Shoulders or something like that. So I thought, okay, that's got to help, it's medicated. So I put some on my hands and I started rubbing it on my head, and no, it made it worse. It was stinging even more. So I washed that off. I grabbed some lanolin cream and I tried putting that on, and it didn't help. It's like, fuck's sake, what am I gonna do? Now this is middle of winter, right? So I was like, okay, I got a cunning plan. And so I raced downstairs. I went out the back door just in my shorts and my bare feet. I started grabbing handfuls of snow and putting it on top of my head to try and numb the pain, calm things down a little bit. And my head is just angry and red and glowing. And I reckon if there was any planes flying over heading towards Stansted Airport, they would have looked down and gone, "That is a bloody weird place to have landing lights." So anyway, while this is all going on, Angela came back, and she said to me, "What's going on?" So I told her the story, and she was really sympathetic. She was really empathetic. I could see that she cared about the pain that I was in, because she just started laughing. She just laughed at me, and she mocked me, and she called me an idiot. She said to me, "Did you read the instructions on the side of the tin?" And I said, No, I didn't, because I'm a male and I don't read instructions, I just do stuff." Apparently, the instructions on the side of the tin said, "Put this stuff on and leave it on your skin for 2 minutes, no more than 6 minutes." And I'd left it on my head for 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Now the worst thing is despite all of this pain and effort and everything, this damn stuff still didn't get rid of all of the hair. It got rid of about 2/3 of it, and I was left with like clumps of hair, all over my head. And because my head was so painful and so sensitive, I couldn't shave it. So I had to go to work with this head looking like some sort of Australian outback scene with desert and shrubbery here and there. And at work they took the piss out of me about that as well. Yeah, it was a disaster. It was a real disaster. Absolutely not worth it at all. So, moral of the story is, Read the instructions on the goddamn tin. Don't use the force to figure out how to do stuff. Take the manufacturer's recommended actions. Don't be like me. Love you.